Alrighty, good morning everyone. Happy Monday, hope you guys doing well. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the Matrix. This every day I look at this market and it just reminds me more and more of last year. It's almost easier to find, it's almost quicker to find the differences than to list the similarities, because there are so many. What's up, Kimchi? What's up, Sam? What's up, everyone? Hope you guys doing well. Yeah, man. Should we get into it? So, first of all, I don't have as much time today on stream. I got a meeting in about an hour and 10 minutes. Actually, an hour and 20 minutes. Can't read time. So we're going to wrap this up a little bit quicker, power through some stuff, and then answer any and all questions. Yeah, Sam's the real doc. I'm the dropout doc. He's gonna cover goat and fart. Man, I mean, this week was probably one of the most insane weeks that I've seen in crypto in a minute. Full-blown meta spawning out of nowhere. Plenty of detractors, plenty of people sidelined, myself included. I didn't buy any of those bags. A lot of infighting, a lot of psyop, plenty of volatility. I'm sure millionaires were made this week. So yeah, crazy one. That's what we're all here in crypto for, right? Unfortunate for me, I was too mid-curve to even understand what the fuck was going on with this shit, and didn't ask questions until recently. Sam, let me give you mod. Just for the fuck of it. Let me know if that worked. I don't know what I'm doing here, but hey, maybe that worked. All right. So, a little bit of Monday morning blood, which brings opportunity on strong coins, namely Solana, which I'll get into in a minute. But shall we start with the high time frame? Get rid of these. Actually, just these up top. So, Bitcoin. We're getting a pullback after running into this 8-month composite value area high. I think I've talked with you guys about this before. This has been my target since like September. Running value area low to value area high. We finally got into this area. Natural to see a little bit of de-risking. Kind of a region that I've been targeting as a bull for, like I said, a minute, right? Confluence of the 8-month composite value area high, confluence of the yearly value area high. Natural to see a little bit of sticking point here, right? Coming to the low time frames, the most interesting thing to me is going to be if we need to correct all the way into the daily trend, or we're even stronger than that. That's going to be the most interesting thing to me right now is, does Bitcoin need to reset after losing the 4-hour, after closing underneath the 4-hour trend, after breaking 4-hour market structure, right? The low right here that set the last high, trading below it, 4-hour market structure break, 4-hour trend loss, and then trading back into this kind of range, which I would consider a range between the high and the low of the Darth Maul candle that we had last week on Tuesday. So, natural place to trade down into is going to be, number one, the daily trend, and number two, liquidity. It would be extremely strong if Bitcoin didn't have to do that. But the system says, right, for me to do nothing, right? So that's pretty much what I'm going to do on Bitcoin. Be very cautious with the trades that I take as long as we're in no man's land, right? Don't really want to be aiming for the stars when we're in this regime. I'd rather long higher or long lower, right? Simple plans. But there is one coin this morning that I did long, and that's Solana, right? So Solana has been stacking these highs for 2 months, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We ran through them all. I didn't think this was going to be that easy of a short for bears to get into. But this morning gave us pretty good opportunity. We had the confluence of two things. Defending that range high breakout, confluence of the 4-hour trend. So this would be the only coin that I would be interested in. In fact, I am interested in, and I took the long. I actually got filled overnight. I slept in a little bit, but I got filled in. I got filled on a long at 164. It was pretty underwater for a minute, but we're going to see how this plays out. This would be the leader of the pack this morning, and it's the coin that I want to bet on. It was the strongest over the weekend. It was the strongest last week as far as the majors go. I think it looks the best as far as the high time frame picture and the low time frame picture combined. So Solana would be my focus moving forward. Bitcoin, I just haven't been interested in Bitcoin over the last few weeks, right? The reason being is this was the most important low to me. We've talked about this low at length. I've talked about it from a game theory perspective, from chart perspective, speculating that this could be our first higher low in this kind of chop down regime. This was met with FUD. This was met with FUD. This was met with FUD. Bears couldn't really do anything to break us down. This is where I turned turbo bull. And in this environment, like, I'm not a Bitcoin trader, right? I'll trade Bitcoin intraday if there's nothing else going on. But I'm just not super interested in trading Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure it's the same for a bunch of you guys out there. So I just use Bitcoin as my barometer on whether or not to take trades on alts. And the position that is in is not one that I'm super happy with, but nonetheless, there is a clean trade to be had on Solana, so we're taking the clean trade. Not too much else to say outside of that. I want to comment on a few other things, which is Bitcoin dominance. I've seen a lot of people try to call top on Bitcoin dominance. A lot of people have been saying, you know, blow off top soon. Bitcoin dominance is top soon, and whatever. I've seen these takes for weeks now, and that's just not something I can I can agree with. When you have a trend that's lasted 2 years, right? September 2022 is when we put the low in on Bitcoin dominance. We've been uptrending since that moment. We're now trading over a very significant level, which is around 58%. Now, I have to say this every time I talk about Bitcoin dominance or others or total 3. There's always people out there that's like, Doc, do you know how this is calculated? Do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know whatever? It doesn't matter to me. I get clean signals off of it. I can use it actionably. I can use it successfully. I'm going to continue using it. To each their own, right? So I'm going to continue talking about it. So for anyone out there that's going to want to yap about Bitcoin dominance, feel free to do so. Just know that I don't care. Anyways, I'm not willing to call Bitcoin dominance top unless there's a god candle parabola that's probably going to be unsustainable, or we lose these weekly trends, right? This dynamic is why you've seen altcoins kind of underperforming this entire cycle. Right now as well, like centralized exchange altcoins last week did not have a good week. Plenty of them were red on the week, flat on the week, chopping around. They have good setups. They're not really moving. This is why, right? This is why Bitcoin dominance stalled under 58 for like 2 months and is finally breaking out above it. I think that is the healthiest dynamic the market can be in. You want Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance to be leading when you're looking for these big breakouts. Right, so if we're looking for a breakout out of this consolidation into new all-time highs, price discovery, a trending market, etc., I want that to be Bitcoin-led. I want the liquidity to be in Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin dominance to be leading. So all of this, if you're overexposed to alts and your alts are underperforming, if they're red, if they're bleeding, just know that it's for the better, at least for now, right? It is for the better. You do want Bitcoin to mark up as high as possible. You want Bitcoin dominance to go as high as possible. Realistically, the higher this goes, the crazier the eventual alt season you're going to get, right? If Bitcoin dominance ends up going up here and then bleeding down, right, this alt season is going to be extremely fun, right? So, I mean, I don't have Bitcoin exposure outside of cold storage, stuff that I don't trade, stuff that I'm not thinking about. But I still want Bitcoin dominance to rip as high as possible. So that's just my take on that. And then lastly, let's talk about others quickly. Others, 240 billion has been my line in the sand. We're just coming up against that resistance, right? I think alts will have more freedom to enter a trending market, a trending regime when we get acceptance above this level, right? This is our macro accumulation. 240 billion has been kind of our big point of breakdown, support from last cycle. You can even extend this line over a little bit further, right? Resistance earlier this year, we tried to hold it as support earlier in summer, earlier in Q2. Altcoins absolutely fell apart when 240 was lost. Rejection here, right? Currently crabbing underneath it. When we get acceptance above 240, 250 billion, I think that's when you get a trending environment in altcoins again, right? And the parabola in altcoins comes, I think, when Bitcoin dominance breaks down. So that's really all I need to say to open up the stream. Let me catch up with chat and take some questions, and we'll talk about some altcoins. Let's scroll up. Finally made a live stream. Nice, Peter. Nice to have you. Volume's a little low. My mic is on full on OBS. I literally have the volume maxed out. Maybe I can turn it up from my I'll turn it up from my actual mic. Let me know if that's a little bit better. We're going to 64.65 to shake out the week. Average time frame between bottom and tops have been 10 days. Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to me to see how other traders come to the same levels using different systems. But yeah, I think if we are going to continue bleeding from here, right? I talked about this to open up the stream, but I'll be bullish on the reclaim. I'll be bullish down here. These are the two places I want to be bullish. In here, I consider no man's land, right? I don't really like speculating on up or down. I don't think you have high EV bets playing the middle of a range or something, you know, middle of two trends. Invalidation is a little bit tougher. If you long here, right, are you going to put your stop at the daily trend? Obviously not, right? If you long here, right, are you going to put your stop right at mid-range, right at this prior support? Probably not, right? So it kind of doesn't make sense to long a breakdown like this, in my opinion. I'd be willing to open up fresh longs on Bitcoin down here at the daily trend. Run liquidity. Last week's, I don't think you would consider that last week's low. Last week's low is going to be like right in here. But yeah, that's significant, like Tuesday shakeout low or above, right, for trend continuation. Good morning, Abel. I got filled in overnight. I'm not taking that back. I got filled, baby. What's FBICLE? Just notes to myself, man. I used to always have impatience is expensive up top. That's kind of my motto. That's my biggest weakness as a trader starting out, turned into my biggest strength with constant reminders. I was really impatient with triggers, really impatient with entries, really impatient with, you know, wanting to take profits too early, front run my exits, front run my entries, always wanted to be in trades, always wanted to do whatever. I was a very impatient trader to start off. That led me to kind of just reminding myself that impatience is expensive. Good note for myself. Just another note for myself up here as well. Not one that, you know, I need to share, but you could probably figure it out. It's a sequence of events. That's your hint. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sequence of events. If you figure it out, I'll send you $100. Question, is there 21 billion short liquidations at all-time highs? No, there's not. So these traders hold their short for 5 months. How sick is that? No, I think what you're talking about is like liquidation heat maps, high block data. That is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're getting that from high block, because anytime I hear fucking $300 trillion in liquidations at this level, it's always coming from high block. Magus has so many threads debunking that data. You should definitely go look into that. I'm not going to get into the high block stuff right now, but the way they get their data is really strange, and their numbers are obviously not right. There's not $21 billion in short liquidations at all-time high, in my opinion. Any thoughts on AVAX cycle or Solana just the coin to hold? I think Solana is going to outperform AVAX. AVAX will have its moments of outperformance over Solana, but let's do this chart. This chart is showing Solana divided by AVAX. So if you're holding AVAX, you are critically underperforming Solana. And this goes back to 2021. So through the bear market, through the bull market, through the crab market, through the range-bound market, this is Solana over AVAX. I think that tells you everything that you need to know. Can you get moments of outperformance on AVAX? Absolutely. Can you catch trades on AVAX? Absolutely. Should you be holding AVAX over the winner this cycle? The number one winning coin coming out of this cycle is Solana. That is a undisputed truth. You cannot deny that. Apu still looking good despite Bitcoin. Yeah, I agree. It's still holding the 4-hour trend. I'll get to that in a minute. Good morning, Yoni. Fartcoin ops. Man, I don't know what the fuck Fartcoin even is. I know it's an AI coin. Would love to hear your thoughts on ETH here. Yeah, 100%. We'll do ETH in a minute. PEPE is acting super weak lately, even when ETH pumps. Good, bro. I've been shouting about this for a while, that this is what's going to happen with PEPE. Look at any of my streams, and they'll be timestamped, and look at when I talk about PEPE, and listen to what my thesis on this is. The reason being, this is the winner of this cycle. This is the meme winner. In my opinion, this is the chosen one. This has the prophecy. It's gonna flip ship. That's my confidence. But it is a zero-sum game market, and people positioning in here, looking to grab longs to all-time high, looking to lever up and think they're getting a free ride, are not going to get that. We saw the exact same thing last year, right, in this range, where people kind of agreed that PEPE was going to be the one to win. And what happened? You got distracted with BONK, you got distracted with other things, you got distracted with WULF. I mean, WULF is a great trade, BONK is a great trade, don't get me wrong there. But what ultimately ended up going the highest was PEPE. It had, eventually it got the highest market cap out of all of the meme coins that have come out this cycle. Right? So in the end, PEPE did win. At least round one. I think more or less is going to happen in round two, where once again, people go and they see this outperformance, right? They see PEPE being the number one coin, and they go, all right, I'm just going to bet on that one. And what the market's going to do is shake you out of this conviction and shake you out of this positioning and make sure that you don't hold on to these longs, and probably going to liquidate you at some point out of those longs before it goes up on this markup once again. And it probably happens later on. I've been very consistent in that thought process and that thesis, and I am not at all thinking about this chart. Even I don't remember if it was last week on the Paragon stream or if it was last week on the public stream where I talked about PEPE, and I was just like, there's a reason I'm not covering this coin at the moment, because I know what to expect from it. I know it's going to win. I just think it's going to be a slow cook. We need to check in with Charlie, Liquidation Map Maestro. He should probably post one of those bait tweets soon. He should definitely post one of those soon. Every time he does, it gets like a fucking... It goes like Twitter viral or CT viral. You mentioned you just hold Bitcoin in cold storage. Do you still buy Bitcoin on DCA, etc., or it's a pass by? Excuse me. Or it's a pass by and you no longer buy it. I haven't bought Bitcoin since the USDC peg last year in March. I think that was the last time I bought Bitcoin spot. So right around 19 or 20K, I think it was 20K last year in March was the last time I bought Bitcoin spot. And I'm probably not going to add to it here. I will likely after this cycle, when I feel like re-exposing myself to crypto again, use some of the gains from this cycle and add to that cold storage stack. The way that I look at Bitcoin is a long-term savings account that outperforms everything. But I still want to buy it when I think, when I want to put money there. If I think I can outperform Bitcoin, I'm going to do that. When I think that Bitcoin is probably a solid bet and the market's weak, and I just want to, put some money aside and not actively trade with it, I'll add to the Bitcoin stack. I DCA PEPE every time a grown man with a tote bag in America orders a matcha. Kimchi, you're going to have to explain that one. There's so many levels to that I just do not understand, bro. You have to explain that one to me. How significant do you think CT is compared to total crypto market, let's say percentage-wise? I think CT is the most... How do I say this? I think CT is the most important center of crypto. It is the mecca of crypto. Everything runs through CT. Percentage of participants globally is probably not that big, but CT moves markets. Narratives that appear on CT are going to move markets. People's tweets on CT move markets. It is the most important hub, central hub of crypto in the world. All right, Kevin, DM me your wallet. on Twitter. All right, let's look at some alts. First, want to check how Solana's doing. Let's take a look quickly. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Don't have an alert set here, but this could be a local top. What? Wait, what? What did I do? Okay, I must have clicked the wrong button. Alright, let's scroll down the list. Does anyone, I haven't been caught up, does anyone know if there was like something that happened last night at weekly open to cause that candle? Some excitement, some whatever? Was that just like market participant behavior? I don't know what the hell that candle was. This shit was up 20% in like 10 minutes. Wild. All right, let's look at some of these leaders. POPCAT. Honestly, I don't have much to say for POPCAT. It's trending along the daily. It's probably my least favorite coin to trade in the market, if I'm being honest. I hate the way this thing trades. I think I've said that many times before, but I hate the way this thing trades. If the daily trend is lost, probably at the bottom of this last consolidation, around 90 cents. Being that it has been the leader all summer, it's been strong all summer, it's gotten the bid all summer, it's been in an uptrend pretty much all summer, it's not going to be the one coin that I would say to fade at this moment. I'd say when the market gets risk on, I'd say when Bitcoin is in, price discovery, all-time high, whatever, POPCAT is probably going to put in some unbelievable returns in a very short amount of time. It just reminds me of like last summer, the leaders of the market, Caspa, Solana, INJ, were so strong off the rip. They were just so... Did I put my alert in the right spot? They were just so strong off the rip. And they performed so well. So POPCAT's one of those, and I don't think anyone should be really fading it or looking for extreme downside. But nonetheless, the chart is clean when it comes to the trends. This is kind of an old one. Let's reset this. If at any point we get a bigger shakeout and we take out this low into the 4-hour 200, that would be a nice place to long POPCAT if you get it. SUI. Pretty interesting dynamic, which makes me think that SUI is actually more of a cabal coin than I initially understood. Because typically when you get a markup like this, absolute parabolic markup, you get a bigger shakeout than just like 20%. 30-40% pullbacks are pretty natural, or at least a consolidation. The way that this is moved just seems so controlled. It's actually funny. But nonetheless, I think you have a pretty solid case here to play daily trend continuation as well as range high continuation, right? There's your daily trends. As long as we're chilling above this high, SUI looks solid. Invalidation, reacceptance below. It's nice to see it, like, as far as strength goes, to see something like Bitcoin losing 4-hour trend, but SUI still maintaining above this high is kind of nice. Memecoin super cycle, or is it utility going to outperform alongside ETHBTC going up? Great question. Here's what I would say. I don't want to conflate the two. I wouldn't. My brain doesn't think, okay, ETHBTC is up equates to X sector outperforming. At least that's just not how I'm like thinking about it right now, right? Like today. I would say ETHBTC up is the go signal for altcoins across the entire market. Why? If you look at Bitcoin dominance, or if you just, mathematically think about Bitcoin dominance, the biggest counterparty to Bitcoin in this market cap wise, is Ethereum. So if Ethereum goes up a lot against Bitcoin, that's going to bring Bitcoin dominance down. If ETHBTC starts chatting, that's probably going to break the trend that we have on Bitcoin dominance. A broken Bitcoin dominance trend opens the floodgates for altcoins left and right. So in that environment, I wouldn't say this sector, that sector, or whatever sector is going to outperform. I just say, like, it's probably party mode. Thoughts on FWOG? I don't really have any thoughts other than I fucking love the artwork. I have a bag. I've been looking for cheaper, and it's not giving it to me. This is when FWOG entered my radar, right? This is when a lot of people started talking. I had some friends that were in this really early, but I was not. I just, I typically fade everything early on because there's a new meme coin, a new altcoin every fucking 6 minutes, and I can't keep up. And if I have to, it would take away from everything else, and I'd rather just stick to my strengths. But that's neither here nor there. This is where it entered my radar. This is where I started buying FWOG in this consolidation and picking up these lows. I think it looks good, and I think it's unique. I'd say so many meme coins right now just kind of have the same formula, right? They're starting to feel very similar, even with the way that the kind of community interacts on CT. And something just feels different to me about FWOG. It has this nostalgic artwork. It reminds me of my childhood. It's as Sam would say, these grainy textures that feel like warm. The vibes are just different. And I like just betting on things that I like, right? It's as simple as that. It's why I bet on PEPE. It's why I bet on APU. It's why I'm betting on FWOG. So, I think this one's probably going to be a winner. If I didn't think so, I wouldn't have bought it and bought a decent amount of it. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to say. Support is support. The chart's the chart. The trend's the trend. And the thesis is the thesis. There's really not that much to add to this, to be honest. Compare FWOG and MOODENG charts. I mean, FWOG's up only. MOODENG's down only. What's there to compare, man? This thing looks like ass. This thing looks tragic. I mean, any chart that looks like this, I would need it to go sideways for a significant period of time before wanting to be interested in this one. Right, just completely failed to hold a prior range, built another one, marked down again, building another one here. At some point, this has to flatten out as far as downside momentum goes, build a range. Once that range is built, you flip high time frame EMAs. The daily trend is starting to form. Flip the daily, put in fresh new bullish market structure, and then you can start marking up again. It's going to be a long process for a coin like this, in my opinion. What else do you think look the best? SUI, POPCAT, Tau, FTM, Pendle, Solana. ONDO may be getting started. I don't really know. I don't know if it's ready to leave this range yet. Maybe not quite yet, but it was kind of nice to see the market was reminded that this was the BlackRock coin at the end of last week. So I got a big bid from the BlackRock play. Market kind of reminded that this is the BlackRock bid. This is the BlackRock coin of choice. So maybe something soon. It's not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Let's see. We'll keep it in mind. All right, here we go. The Kimchi reply. I DCA PEPE spot whenever. Reasoning being, if memes like PEPE dip significantly under billions, there's a greater correction with respect to risk assets. It's a way to keep grounded perspective on memes. Okay, you're just saying, okay, you just buy it, whatever. But I thought there was something specific with the tote bag Americans. I thought, you know what I mean? I was like, I really need to know the backstory there. If the baddie is home is truly a baddie, your eyes do not stray for every BBL you see. Man, facts. Kimchi is spitting. Exactly, bro. Doc, how do you feel about SUI, TIA, Aptos this cycle versus Solana? Solana's the GOAT. It's as simple as that. Solana's the GOAT. Other things may have spurts of outperformance. The thing with stuff like SUI is it's going to need a narrative, man. Like, Solana didn't just go to 80 billion last cycle because, right? It went to 80 billion last cycle because there was a legitimate anti-ETH narrative and the market was hunting for alternatives, and Solana had the most active community. It had the most, like, the biggest NFT scene when NFTs were really the flex last cycle. This cycle it's memes, and once again it's Solana dominating, and last cycle was NFTs, and after Ethereum NFTs, the whole NFT scene was on Solana. So it's ETH NFTs and Solana NFTs. What does SUI have going for it so far? I don't think SUI's just gonna go to Valhalla without something going for it, right? It needs something. We can't just keep telling ourselves the tech without something, right? Something to get people excited. Maybe shitcoining, right? Like, everything is about memes this cycle. Can we get SUI shitcoins popping off? Get a SUI meme coin that goes to 500 million. That'll get people going, oh man, let's go find more SUI meme coins, right? That'll get stuff started. So it needs a spark. What do you think about MOG at the point whenever PEPE moves, MOG seems to be stronger with a stronger percent move? Here's the thing, man. lower cap meme coins are going to outperform higher cap meme coins in terms of percentage moves, right? That's just facts. A $1 million meme coin is going to outperform a Dogecoin. That's just how it works, right? So MOG is significantly lower in market cap than PEPE, so MOG is obviously going to move more than PEPE at this particular juncture. But do I think the ceiling for MOG, meaning how high can MOG go, right? If this is Doge and this is SHIB and PEPE is like here and WULF is like here or something like that, I don't know. MOG is here. Which one of these do I think is going to end up the highest? I think PEPE is going to end up the highest. I don't think there's a world where MOG flips PEPE. I could be wrong, but that's just the way that I see that. So if this is my thesis, I'm just gonna stick with the winner, right? I think all of these are fine to trade and make money on and compound capital and whatever, but my conviction is in the winner. What X multiples do you expect your crypto portfolio to do in the next year? I have my goals, which some of my close friends tell me that I'm not aiming high enough, to be honest. I'll tell you this. In 2022, when I went full-time, and was consistently profitable, when I started proving to myself that I can be consistently profitable in a not so opportunistic market, in a not so good market, like a bear market, and started developing the tools and getting confidence in myself, I made an extremely, extremely audacious goal for myself. I was like, I'm going to 100x my net worth after taxes, by the top of the next cycle. And I'll just say that I think that's within reach. But probably not going to share how far off I am, but I think it's within reach. But I've told a couple of my friends how much is remaining, and they go, dude, you need to up your targets. You're being way too cautious. And I'm just like, you know, I just, you know, the goals that I went in with, I kind of just want to hit those and not just move, you know, change the bar and just kick it down the road and aim for higher. Because you always hear horror stories of people being like, just one more 2x and end up giving just so much money back. So I'm going to try my best not to fall into that trap. What does Cabal coin mean? It means a coin that is kind of, how do I want to say this? First of all, you should look up the word cabal, right? That'll help you, right? If you understood what the word cabal means. But it's generally just a group of, for lack of better terms, shadowy figures in the behind the scenes, like controlling the supply, pushing a narrative, etc. Something where a lot of CT is involved for their hidden merit. Not a lot of CT. It's going to be a very small amount, right? Maybe like a couple guys, 5 guys, 10 guys. Good morning, Retush. Let's go, Sam. Shilling the chat on fart coin. Unbelievable scenes. The only cat coin you should buy is bro. I'm not interested in cat coins whatsoever, sir. I'm not interested in any cat coins. I have enough meme exposure, and I've placed my bets, put my chips in. I'm comfortable with the memes that I have, and until my thesis on those are invalidated, and even if they're not, you know, those will probably be the ones that I stick with, because there's going to be a new meme every fucking week, man. And I'm not going to be able to buy them all, cover them all, develop a thesis for all of them. But there are people that are in the trenches that are able to extract value on all of these. They're buying these coins at 5, 10 million, even less, running them up to 100 million, and then just rotating. I have a really good friend, or someone that I know well enough to call a friend, and he is absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it in this scene, like outperforming everyone else I know by magnitudes doing this. That's not a skill set that I have. And, you know, for this cycle being my first bull market, I am trying to stay focused and in my lane and extract maximum value where I know that I can, and not get distracted and then kind of pivot mid-cycle, even though, man, that's where the money is. And maybe I regret it in 6 months and 8 months. But yeah, man, as far as, you know, bro being a cat coin, I wish you the best of luck, but I can't divert my attention to every new shiny meme coin every single week. That's a tough game to play for me. WIF is kind of weak compared to other dog meme coins. Like I said, it's a large cap meme, bro. It's a large cap meme. You have to think about market caps, and how much this marked up. These coins that made it into the top 100 are repricing, right? They went from like $10 million to $4 or $5 billion. The market needs time to digest these coins at these new valuations before they can mark up again. You know, it's a longer process than many people kind of think. WULF will have its moment in the sun again. By the way, I think last week someone was talking about like someone is shorting WIF here and aiming for 0. Whoever that was, I mean, nice short. I think the only thing I said last week was like very clear level of invalidation for you as a bear. I just don't think WIF is going to come back down to like $1. I think that was their target, new lows. I forgot who we were talking about, but someone was aiming for like this short to basically under $1. I don't think that's happening. I think the lows are in on WIF, and dips are for buying it. If you want WIF bags, you know, I think all of this accumulation is going to be painful to you in hindsight. If you're just like, I want to buy WIF, I want to buy WIF, I want to buy WIF, and you just never bought in here and never bought any of these dips, because, I mean, that's a really clear-cut accumulation phase that it put in this summer. If I'm skipping your guys' requests, I apologize. I just would never get done with scrolling chat if I did every single person. I'd just never get caught up. Also, it's a little bit of a shorter stream. Like I said, I got a meeting in a little bit, so I won't be able to stay on for the 2 hours like I normally do. Thoughts on meme coin dispersion and dilution? Will the ceiling of hot meme coins be in the low billions, unlike SHIB, or the sword low billions? Man, it's hard to say. It's hard. That's the meta this cycle. That's the bubble. That's where the money is. Meme coins need champions to reprice the rest of meme coins. So PEPE was the first one this cycle. It held 300 million through so much FUD last summer and did a markup 10x to 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, 6 billion. Like, it's just been sitting in there, right? It's brought up the ceiling for other coins. So if something's going to break out of the pack, it's going to join the kind of $3 billion club, right? The next time PEPE marks up to 40, I don't know where the top on PEPE is going to be. But let's have fun and say it's 40, right? That theoretically brings the ceiling up for other memes as well, right? So you would call it the S tier meme, the A tier meme, and the B tier meme. When S moves a rank up, so does A, right? It'll go in its shadows to where it was before, right? So if PEPE goes to, let's say, 40 billion, the coins that were stuck in the 500 million, 800 million market cap region are now given a free ride to go to 3 or 4. Right, that's kind of how bubbles work, and the thought process of bubbles kind of work. There will be waves of full chub FUD for risk assets in 2025 that will shake out even pre-pandemic OGs. Kimchi with the wild prediction, bro. So you're saying we're going to have a shakeout along the bull trend that is going to be more brutal than COVID? What? Nah, fam. Miss me with that one. What are your top meme picks? The frog coins. All the frogs. Buying the meme winners requires a completely different perspective versus buying the rotating metas. 100% Kimchi. What up, Orangutan? All right, we're caught up with chat. I can scroll up and catch some other questions. We need the fart to be discussed, bro. I can you even chart this here? Look, I'll look it up. Can you can't chart this coin on here. And I'm not gonna pull up Dex Screener. Nice, man. That's predicting a black swan. See, anyone else, I would be like, fuck off. But if Kimchi predicts something, this dude has some witchcraft powers to predict dates and fucking events. I don't know how he does it, but he's kind of a witch. So we just want to kill him when he says stuff like 2025 we'll have a shakeout that'll scare pre-pandemic OGs. I want to kill him. Later, Fuds. Do not fade Kimchi. Do not fade Kimchi and do not fade the owl. I'm pretty sure the owl hooted on Saturday, didn't it? Is Cass cooked? I think so, brother. One massive change happened to Cass recently. Look at the entire history of this chart. The entire 2-year history of this chart. We have never, ever, ever, ever lost the weekly trend. Right? Little dip below. What are we doing here? Right? We've had weekly bullish market structure. Every weekly, like, low was a higher low. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We're now setting kind of weekly bearish market structure a little bit, right? Here's a low, trading below this low, significantly underneath weekly trends, have not been able to accept outside of 17 cents since February. We're now in October. We launched kind of a catalyst or something bullish. I don't know the details of this, so I'm not going to speak where I don't have brain cells to understand. Doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. I think if you want to be bullish on Cass again, I mean, personally, me, I wouldn't buy this at mid-range. I don't care. I don't care if I miss this move. I just don't care. I don't buy shit at mid-range. So, range low for Caspa if you're interested. But yeah, it does look different, man. Thanks, Ninja. I'm trying my best to stream weekly, but yeah, I'm trying my best to stream weekly. Cass launched mainnet and puked. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned something like that on CT and I got like flamed for it because apparently I didn't know the facts about Cass fundamentals, but they don't know that I don't care. I really don't give a shit. They thought I was like fudding their coin by saying that like, oh, the smart contracts were live, and I guess it's not smart contracts going live, but they got really upset at me and I was like, I don't give a shit. What's alts do you think look good? I covered them, Lord Sneed. Solana, SUI, Tau. Look at the list. POPCAT. I mean, plenty of low caps. Pendle's not a low cap, but there's plenty of low caps that look good. But as far as like larger caps, yeah, the ones I just mentioned. Honestly, I think Solana looks the best. I'm personally only focused on Solana today. It's the only trade that I took. It's the only long that I'm in. I think it looks clean. Other coins, not so much. Solana, yes. Thoughts on BONK? When let's just put it this way: BONK, WULF, PEPE, it's all the same thing. For now, right? These will have their own moments soon, but for now, they're all kind of the same, right? They're just crabbing. They're just range bound. Right? There's your range high, there's your range low. Stuck under range high. If you get a range high breakout, defend the breakout. Hopefully you don't get a full retrace. Play trend continuation. Get a breakout, deviates back into range, back into this consolidation, invalidation, probably aim for lower. And you just accept that it's still in a crabby regime. Coins that look like this, I'm not too interested in trading, right? And especially because here's another thing about BONK, guys. BONK had a, let's find more history. Let's find more history. Wait, BONK is on Coinbase? I did not know that. Okay, here we go. Here's more history. Okay, so here is the mega ripper BONK rally, right? December of last year. The worst thing about this chart, the most bearish thing about this chart, is that every time the meme sector ripped or BONK got hot, it was unable to reprice. And what I mean by repricing is when you develop an accumulation and then you try to expand, you want the next retrace to develop kind of like a higher accumulation, right? And then expand again and then develop another higher accumulation, right? That's a healthy kind of coin. What this looks like to me is we're just retracing back into the same region again and again and again. Every time it gets super, super hot, it's unable to kind of hold a new valuation. It's just kind of stuck in this, mode for a year now, which is a little unfortunate. Not a coin that I particularly like. I think it could stay in this regime a little bit longer. I think WULF looks better as far as a high time frame chart, and I think PEPE looks better as far as a high time frame chart. WULF's had 3 separate rallies where it kind of failed to do much. I mean, not WULF. Did I say WULF? I meant BONK. So interesting dynamic there on BONK. Just that I wanted to mention of why it would look a little bit different to me than WULF and Doge, or excuse me, WULF and PEPE. I'm getting my words all mixed up this morning. You forgot to mention Ohm is a strong coin. There you go. Banger, dude. Simple Break Dude reminds me every week to not fade Ohm. And I'm pretty sure he's been asking me about this since like here. So GG's to you, man. This thing has been definitely strong. I've not taken any trades on this one pretty much, but let's take a look. Yeah, probably due for a bounce here. So let's get rid of some of this junk. Lower time frames. Here we go. For you, man. I'm going to set an alert here. If I get this sweep, I'll take a long. And we'll see if we can long it back into this point of breakdown. Oh boy. That was clutch. I just muted my mic before I sneezed. Otherwise, I would have broken your guys' eardrums. Something like this. Hopefully I get a really nice low time frame trigger. Looks solid. At least for this bounce. Stop loss on the Sol trade is basically, I think, trading and accepting below the low that we set this morning at like 161.7. I wouldn't want to see Solana trade under there anymore. Does KHAI turned bearish? I'm going to cover this because I know Charlie likes this coin. I mean, it's at the daily trend, right? It's at support. I don't think it turned bearish. I think it would be bearish if this was lost. It's bearish if you lose this. And you kind of like trade below, fail to reclaim. It'll probably trade a lot lower. But it didn't turn bearish at support. I would say it turned bearish when you tried to break out and you dropped back into the range. So let me zoom out and show you this range, right? It's done this a few times, right? Deviation over range high, deviation over range high. Once again, deviation over range high. You could have sold this kind of bearish retest as well. All right, I gotta head out in like 10 minutes. Thoughts on ENA? I mean, this thing's not performing as well as I thought it would. That's kind of the unfortunate situation for a lot of the coins right now, is that they're putting in these banger setups, but the setups ain't hitting, man, on a lot of the coins. This is a really good setup, but coins just be crabbing. They just be crabbing, man. I mean, no real thoughts other than, you know, reclaim of significant level, right? Gap fill opportunity from the daily 100 towards the daily 200, which is right around mid-range, and overextension towards the listing anchored VWAP. This is, locally speaking, bullish market structure with a high, a low, a higher high. Whatever this consolidation ends up, you would want this to be a higher low and lead you into another higher high. I would not love ENA if this consolidation led to a breakdown back into this range. I would think that would look like absolute ass, right? So where it's at right now, if this thing is truly strong, should not drop back below 80. What is it? Excuse, not 80, 38. So I know the daily trend's right there as well. So like if it wants to wick in there and get bought back up, that's totally fine. In fact, I wouldn't take a trade on this again until this kind of resolved in one way or another. I don't really like opening trades when coins are like this, right? Either you like put in a massive run lower in a reclaim, or you break out to the upside with a really strong move, a shallow pullback, and I can long here, right? These are the two places I would bid. But when things get very consolidated and choppy like this, I just think they look like ass. At least locally. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's tough. POPCAT popping off? Nice. Daily trend be doing daily trend things. I hope Solana shows us the way, man. We need Solana to bring the risk appetite back to centralized exchange coins, man. These coins have just been a turbo disappointment. I think by Solana moving, I think life can come back to some of these. Let's take a look at SOLETH. Couple weeks ago, actually it was about a month ago, I was getting very kind of bearish on this chart, being as that it was like a 3 drive with a run of the all-time highs and then locally losing daily trends. I think it was like right around here, right? This is where I wanted to be a little cautious on Solana. I had a pretty, I was developing a pretty strong bear thesis, at least locally for Solana, not meaning like, oh, it's fucked forever. Just kind of, hey man, it could trade under $100, right? And I would love to buy that if it came, but I don't want to be super risk on Solana at the moment. I was wrong on that thesis. If it was going to break down, if SOLETH was going to be weak, if Solana itself was going to be weak, it would have done that last month when I was thinking about it, when I was curious about it, when I wanted to be cautious on SOLETH. now is not the time to be bearish on this thing, right? This thing looks unfucking real. It had so much opportunity to break down, right? When the market was weak, it had a lot of opportunity to break down. You know, we all know like the kind of meme Solana 120 level that was tested 400 billion times and just kept holding. I was also one of the people that was like, hey man, it's probably not going to hold this time, right? We've held this level so many times. It's probably not going to hold this time. It's probably going to do something like this. Didn't even get that. So when something's strong, don't fade it, right? Doc stream structure flow is so good. Go ahead and save stream. Doc's paid Telegram group. All you gotta do is just LARP as me, man. Make another account on Telegram, DocXBT, put an underscore at the end. Trick people into thinking you're me. Done. Grab one of my streams and just rip the audio. I don't know why I'm telling people on live stream how to scam. Someone in here is actually gonna fucking do that. Did you buy WULF? Yeah, I did. Shout out to Born, I believe, who, you know, his conviction helped me finally pick up this bag. This has been on my chart for months. I just love the structure of this chart. I really like the structure of this chart, and I was like, man, I'll probably buy a bag eventually. And I think Born was talking to me about like bullish developments, and I go, look, I'll read buy now, read later. So just, you know, smash market buy. The last time I hit the daily trend, I was underwater for a little bit. It's working out really well. It's not a very sized position, honestly, but I'm just happy I have a position in it to avoid kind of extreme FOMO and be like, dude, you had so much time to buy here. Why the fuck didn't you pull the trigger? So I'm glad I did that. Quick note about PEPE hedge. There's an extreme latency in mindshare. A lot of the ideal target demographic for meme 20 to 30 something yuppies are largely aware of Doge Shiba. Interesting. Are you concerned with PEPE bullish setups not working? Not at all, dude. 100% exactly what I expected. Go back and watch any of the streams from the past few months. I was just like, Pepe's gonna... I even said this back in fucking April, man. Back in April, I put out a thread that was just Pepe, and it was... I put a fractal on it, and it was just sideways for months. Just absolute chop your balls off chop. Because I know that people are going to try to breakout trade this. They're going to try to grab positions. They're going to try to grab longs. They're going to think, man, this thing's going to rip 10x and I can actually size into it. It has liquidity and it can 10x and I can buy it on leverage. Mark's not going to let you get away with that. He's going to chop your balls off for longer. And Pepe always trades like this. It's super PvP when it's in a range. Super PvP. It's not a coin that I actively trade ever. Spot and hold. Outperformance. I'm down 11% on Fartcoin. That's a good way. It's a good way to wrap up the stream, honestly. Sam comes in here, shills a coin, instantly down. People lose money. GG. What's your target for WULF? To be honest, I don't have a target yet. It's Bitcoin beta, so I think the WULF target is just gonna be whatever Bitcoin ends up doing. Right? When Bitcoin's hot and going fucking nuts, and I feel like the market's topped, I'm just gonna sell WULF. Right? It'll be like that. I'll just see whatever Bitcoin's doing, and I'll just take profits on this. It doesn't matter if it's a 10 or 28 or 300. Right? It's just gonna be dependent on Bitcoin. I don't have a target for it because I'm not good with fundamentals, and I'm not going to be doing like PE ratio calculations on Bitcoin miner stocks and fair values and stuff like that. It's just going to all come down to, do I feel like Bitcoin's topped? Am I taking profits on my other bags? I'm probably going to close this one out too. Any thoughts on Jupiter over the next 8 to 12 months? Yeah, Solana beta. It'll outperform Solana in a stretch. There'll be a stretch of mindshare where Jupiter, JTO, Pith, other Solana ecosystem coins are going to perform better than Solana. But I don't know, man. I don't know how much they're going to outperform Solana. That's the thing. You're taking more risk for maybe not. I don't know, man. Real talk, I don't know what to value Jupiter at. I guess you could just like make comparables with like Uniswap or something and go off of that and be like, Uniswap's valued at this, you know, Jupiter can be valued at that. That's pretty much it, man. It's just gonna perform the way that Solana performs, right? Solana's strong, Jupiter will be strong. It's not gonna do anything on its own, just out of the blue. Brandon, you know what's funny, Brandon? I got a lot of hate DMs or like upset DMs because I posted about that coin on Saturday. I don't even know when I posted about it. Saturday, I think. Because people are like, dude, don't let people know. Keep it on the down low. Don't let people know. Don't talk about that coin. I don't know what the fuck that's on about, but no, I haven't talked about bells. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gents, I'm gonna call the stream there a little bit early. Usually I go for 2 hours, but I got work to do. I gotta get out of here because I have another kind of thing to do in 15 minutes. So anyways, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week on Monday at the same exact time. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you soon.
days were soft like winter.